thought I'd do a video about Trump, since everybody's talking so much about this, and I have my opinion, of course, about it. What I would have to say about Donald Trump, which it has been mentioned in the mainstream media, but it seems to be overcrowded with other things, so to speak, meaning that it doesn't get a lot of emphasis in the mainstream media. And that is simply the fact that the majority, well, let's start over again. Trump is essentially self-funding his campaign. But of course, if you look on opensecrets.org, kind of breaks down who's actually contributing to him, etc. What I see here, though, is that there's no PAC contributions and no federal funding. So he's almost put $2 million in himself into his campaign, and it looks like he's received almost $4 million from individual contributions, which is broken into small individual contributions and large individual contributions. Either way, this is what separates Trump, I think, primarily from people like Hillary or these other characters that are running. If you look at Hillary, my God, she has received outrageous amounts of money from different political action committees, from PACs. If we were to break it down, what we find the most of is law and lawyers, seem to have been her big ones. Business, if we look at the individual donors, which is all here on opensecrets.org, you can check this yourself. She's a lot like Obama. I mean, the big ones that have donated to her have been people like Citigroup, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley. She's got a lot of entertainment industries involved in her contributions as well, but you also have Lehman Brothers, you've got Corning of all people, or corporations, Credit Suisse Group. These are all her biggest contributors, it appears, throughout her career, actually. Some of this information goes back to 2008, but either way, according to this, though, the organizations themselves did not donate. Rather, the money came from the organization's PACs, their individual members, or employees, or owners, and those individuals' immediate families. Either way, though, she got a lot of money from a lot of these different corporations. We're talking almost $1 million, if I'm not mistaken here, from Citigroup alone. Goldman Sachs, $700,000, over $700,000. So in other words, what happens, of course, and it's funny because Trump talked about this in his first debate. You give these people money when they're running for office, you got to pay them back somehow. That means they're essentially in the pocket of these big corporations. I know the pharmaceutical industry has also been giving quite a bit of money to Hillary. Not in the same category as these other people, though. I think they're in like the hundreds of thousands of dollars rather than the almost $1 million. But either way, she owes a lot of people, which you can expect that what's going to happen, of course, she's going to have to repay a lot of favors. Very similar to what Obama did with all his big contributors, were people like, again, banking, Wall Street, all those criminal gangs. And of course, we got, an insurance industry. And what did we get out of him? We got Obamacare, his attempt at socialist policies, supposedly, but totally more along the lines of fascist, corporation and state power combined, right? We also, of course, got more war, more death, more destruction. Well, race relations are like gone. What else did we get from Obama? We got lots of saber rattling about gun control. Fortunately, nothing's happened there. But we also got the bailout of the banks. We got the bailout of big corporations. And of course, if you were to look into Obama, I am pretty gosh darn sure that these were people who gave him immense contributions for him to get in office. So we're going to see the same thing with Hillary if she gets in. She's going to be paying back all these people, her buddies, with, I'm sure, legislation that will in no way benefit those of us in the middle or the bottom of wherever we are, because we're certainly not able to contribute $1 million to Hillary Clinton's campaign now, are we? At least I'm not. So anyway, I thought I'd just throw that out there again. It's interesting that since Trump is, and I'm going to say essentially self-funded, I realize that there's individual contributors, and I'm sure that they work for these big corporations too, but it's nothing compared to someone like Hillary. He's able to do pretty much whatever he wishes. If he didn't want to take any contributions, I'm pretty darn sure he could get away without taking any contributions and owing anybody any sort of favors. So this may be something to consider when it's time for you to go out and vote, if you actually spend your time doing that kind of thing. Of course, I haven't voted since 2000 myself, ever since the Supreme Court's, selected our president for us. Kind of just proved what I thought anyways. But this may be different. Maybe this will be different because we have somebody from outside of these dynasties like the Bushes and the Clintons, and with their own money, they're able to stay a little more independent. And unfortunately, I happen to agree with Trump on a few things that he's pointed out, particularly the the deportation of illegal immigrants, I feel 100% that that's completely fine. And I'm going to do a video about that too, in case anybody gets upset or pissed off or whatever, and why I feel that way. And I'll explain from my own life story, my own personal experience related to legal immigration. All right, anyways, Trumpster, go Trump. The only one able to stand alone without help from all these companies. So, take care, Alvarado out.